Hi, you guys. Welcome to a new episode of Too Much with Shey
and Becca. Hey, y'all. How are you doing? Oh, you heard my little vocal.
Happy Friday. I hope you guys are enjoying the weather, kind of, sort of, maybe. Our weather has been kind of crazy. Like, we had winter. Like, I feel like I mentioned the same thing last week. But you guys, it's insane. Allergies, if you deal with allergies, then you know. Rebecca sent me this video of a guy, what did he say, like, say no to allergies or something like that. He was down bad, and I'm like, I feel you. I'm like sneezing my eyes. I look like I haven't slept in 30 days, but it's just actually like my allergy.
You always look beautiful to me.
Thank you, my love. But the reality is, like, I've even gone to work with just my glasses on because I know you're not supposed to, itch your eyes. But baby, sometimes you got to do it. Okay. It is what it is. But we're here. We made it. Happy Friday. If you guys are new to our podcast, welcome. We hope you guys stay. We talk about all things news, sports, culture, life, all the things. And if you are a recurring viewer, just check if you are subscribed, because the data shows that a majority of our viewers are actually not subscribers. So just, hit pause, check.
She threw out the data at y'all. She said the number is not numbering.
I love y'all down, and I just want to make sure you don't miss out on anything. So please do subscribe. Thank you guys so much. We did surpass 500. So we appreciate you guys. And yeah, as always, we're going to kick off with a breakdown of our week.
Yes. What's happening?
Hey. Tell us what's happening in your week, Rebecca.
So, if y'all remember, I think it was like 2 episodes ago, or maybe it was last episode, but I told y'all how, like, I told Shayla I was feeling neglected and I need a date. And Shayla said, bet, I can make it happen. And guess what? She made it happen. Then I was telling her how I never had ramen before. I've had fake ramen, like the ones in the cup you pop in the microwave, but apparently the cup was never microwavable.
That does not count.
Okay, but the cup was never microwavable, girl. That's the crazy part. And I've been microwaving it my whole life. And then they talked about, like, 2 years ago, oh, the cup is finally microwavable. What you mean finally, right? But anyway, so I always had the fake ramen, right? And so I told Shayla, the people on TikTok keep going to ramen. They keep getting ramen and pho, I think it is. And I'm like, Shayla, like, I never had this. Shayla's like, I know a place, and I think you're going to like it. So me and Shayla go on Saturday to go get ramen. And we've come to the realization that I just don't think those types of foods are for me. Like, I just didn't, I could see why people like it, but to me, it just felt like it was missing something. Like, I don't know, I couldn't get into it, right? And I was just, Shayla liked hers. That's what matters. Shayla liked hers.
But I think, like Rebecca said, I feel like in Caribbean culture, we're very much like, if it's not a hearty meal, it's like a no thank you. Like, we're used to rice, plantains, like meats and spaghetti, like that type of stuff. And, Asian cuisines is kind of different, right? Like, I think I don't want to say it's bland, because that might be shady. It's not bland, but what I mean to say is, like, they're just like low key with it. You know what I mean? Like, you did say you like when you go to the spots and like you, like, it's not hibachi, but like you cook the meat.
Yeah, Korean barbecue. Like, I like that. I don't know what it is. Like, I can't even get down with sushi. Like, I
love sushi.
I can't even do that. Like, the only type, well, I don't really like raw stuff, but like the only type of sushi I can attempt is the shrimp tempura rolls. And even that, like, I can only have 2 of the rolls before like my brain finally connects to it, and I'm like, I can't do it.
But the bao buns was good. We tried bao buns. That was yummy.
It was like, I would say out of 10, it was like a good 5. It wasn't the worst,
right? So it was good. We realized that Rebecca just may not be an Asian cuisine type of girl, and that's okay.
And people are like, I told my coworkers, I'm like, I went and tried the ramen, like authentic ramen for the first time, and I wasn't a fan. They're like, you need to try pho. I said, I'm tired of people telling me, oh, it's because you didn't try this one. I just don't think it's for me. But you know what? because as someone who's trying to expand their palate, clearly I'm failing at doing such. But I think me and Shayla are gonna try pho. I don't know if Shayla's ever had pho.
I've never had that. No, I haven't.
I'll never forget. Shayla and I went to this one. What kind of restaurant? Like, was it Korean? It was like one of the people's, right? And me and Shayla was like,
One
"Oh,
of the people's is crazy.
it was one of the people, one of the Asian cuisine people." Sorry, I hope I'm not offending nobody. But when Shayla and I tried like the kimchi and all the stuff,
Did we try kimchi? That was that?
Yes, that was like one of the little bowls that they gave us. And me and Shayla was
No,
like,
but honestly, I think that restaurant was not a good representation for the community. No shade. Because I have had some fire Asian cuisine, and I just think that was not a good representation. And that's why I tell people, like, even if you think a restaurant is really, really good, don't overhype it because you are setting them up for failure. Just be like, I told Rebecca, oh, I tried these two and they were kind of good. Kind of good. So, like that, when you show up, in your mind, it's kind of good. And that's it. If I tell you, oh, this is the best spot I've ever had, they got the best ramen, like you ain't never gonna find ramen like this ever in your life, then you pull up with these high standards and expectations, and it's probably not gonna be the best ramen you've ever had in your life. Even if I know in my mind that like it blew me off, I don't know if that doesn't sound right. Even if it like blew out of the park for me, like I'm like, oh, this was fire. I'm just gonna tell people that I recommend, oh, it was good.
Yeah. No, I get that. I'm like, to me, I always tell me, oh, to me, it was fire. I don't know if you gonna like it though, right? Like I always preface
Lower
it like,
the expectations, because then you could only go up from there. Like, oh no, Shayla, you just said it was good, but this was so good. Like, let them find that out for themselves.
Now, there's the one place that Shayla and I brag about to anybody. It's this place. It's a Wagyu burger that we went to in New York. Oh, me and Shayla, we talk about that burger.
Yes, but even if I'm just gonna be like, oh, I had this Wagyu burger and it was good. I've never had a burger like that before. I am not gonna be like, oh, you ain't never gonna find a burger like this nowhere else is the best. Cause then I don't know if it's like a mind thing, but like you're expecting something to like once you take that bite, you're gonna expect to like fall on the floor type stuff. And I can't promise that.
No facts. But yeah, so we went and did that. It was, an experience. I mean, anytime with Shayla is time well spent to me. Love you down, girl. Yeah. And then afterwards, I was like, Shayla, let's go to like a sports bar because it was the first day for my Knicks to play in the playoffs. And I'm like, geek gas, that stressed me out. We'll definitely get more into the playoffs a little later on in the show in our sports corner because I got some things to say to the Knicks. But I do want to go off the piggyback off the point Shayla was mentioning earlier about this weather. Baby, when I tell you Sunday, I was feeling like a little like little tickle in the throat, and I was like, all right, I'm not tripping. Like, I'm cool. I'm gonna take a little cough drop. One thing about me, I keep a cough drop on me. I don't play about that, right? But Monday, I get to work. I said, I feel the sore throat trying to come. I said, oh no, and it's been like the weather transition like completely like even on Saturday when Shayla and I were together, it was like cool, calm, collected. Then out of nowhere it started getting real windy. Shayla had to wear my sweater. Like it just got cold out of nowhere. And then that cold weather was like very consistent, like into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, a little bit of Wednesday. And I was just like, okay, so now my throat starting to get a little tingle in it. Girl, let me tell you this. Me and Mucinex, this right here, baby, I've been drinking this for 3 days straight. I even got the other one with me because that's how this the day one, this the night one. When I tell you I've been drinking this like crazy, I'm like, thankfully my throat is not doing too much. It's not doing nothing crazy. But if you feel a little tingle in the throat, let me tell y'all, I'm an advocate for this. I also got NyQuil.
I just want to flag. She used to be a heavy NyQuil, Dayquil, and I was pressing on her. Mucinex is better, so I'm glad you came to this.
I still drink Dayquil and NyQuil. Don't get it twisted. It's right next to my bed.
You ain't shining a light on them today, so that's why
it's right next to my bed. I could get it, but that's.
But they didn't get the spotlight.
Right. Well, go ahead, Shayla.
So for my week, other than my allergies being crazy, y'all, let me tell you how I think, again, I don't know if it's the Caribbean in me, but I am just so perplexed as to how, like, the lack of rhythm. Like, I thought that rhythm was just like an automatic thing. Like, you're just born with rhythm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I tell you left, right, clap, like that's like so easy. But this week I learned, well, no, literally left, right, clap could be a struggle for some people. And I'm just like, how is that possible? Like, are you, tell me in the comments, like, are people just not born with rhythm? Like, do you have to teach rhythm? How does that work?
I don't, and you know what's crazy? Like, I don't know if there's like a scientific thing behind it. Cause like
There
even
gotta be.
sometimes it really do gotta be. I'm like, I like sometimes when Shayla and I go out to like a club or something like that, I see the two steps. I'm like, you don't feel like you're not matching to the beat, like you don't hear the bass and your feet not moving the same way.
Right. I just think that's such a crazy concept. Like, again, there has to be some scientific like reasoning, but I just want to ensure when God blesses me with my kids that like maybe I do have to set out time to ensure that they grow up with rhythm. Because I can't like left, right, clap can literally send some people through the loop. And oh my God.
Shayla said I have to dedicate an hour a day with my
I
kids
got
to make sure
to.
they can dance.
I cannot have two left-footed people, you know, as family to me. Even with my nieces, like I'm like Eliette, Valerie, we set up some time when there's events. You have to learn how to dance. And like Rebecca said, like, you know, to me, again, it's just maybe the Caribbean in me. Like, you know, when you're dancing, you're like, oh, I gotta pause because I'm not with the rhythm. Some people just lack that and they're just completely opposite. And they're just, and on the other side, they kind of eat with that because it's like so careless. Like in their minds, they really think they eating and they really just not. Or the people that know lyrics and are posting Insta stories, baby. The lyrics is saying, I love you. And they're like, I hate to call you. And they still post Insta story, knowing you're not even singing the lyrics right.
It's a level of confidence you gotta have. And I appreciate, listen, as someone who's an advocate for confidence,
right,
maybe get at like you gotta live to the beat of your own drum. And I could tell by the way some people dance, they are living to the beat of that. And you know what's a prime example? I forget what the song is by Beyonce, but you know where everybody be like dun, 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 clap, girl,
yeah.
Even that be tearing them up. I'm like, it's just left, right, left, clap.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. And so I this week I learned, I mean, I already had it in me that like I'm very big on music and like rhythm and just I just care about that. You know what I mean? It's not even about caring. I just like it. And so it was like I was just reminded that no, rhythm is a blessing. People are not born with it. And so I'm going to ensure that my kids, baby, we will, you know how people be reading to their kids? We're going to be reading and dancing too, because you cannot be out here with the two left feet. Shout out to y'all, no shade, but my kids need to have rhythm.
No, facts, especially because like Shayla mentioned, like she is Dominican, Puerto Rican, I'm Haitian. You know, it's like it's something about that when that song come on and you dance into the songs of your people, you like, hey.
And you need to be on beat, like on beat. Oh, but yeah, shout out to all the people, the no rhythmers. We love y'all down. It's just like I was just reminded.
No rhythmers is crazy.
Baby. Shout out to the no rhythmers, no rhythm community. I love y'all down, but we need to host academies for the no rhythms. All right. So on that note, let's move over to the real topics. I know some people don't care about news, don't want to talk about it, but guess what? News is important and being in the loop is cute. All right, but if you don't want to, baby, we don't pressure nobody here to do nothing. You can just fast forward over to our social corner or our sports corner. So for the first topic of this week, we're going to talk about the White House Correspondents Dinner. Okay, if you don't know what that is, it's essentially like an event that they host every year with journalists, right? So Donald Trump will be attending this year's White House Correspondents Dinner. Like I mentioned, it is an event meant to celebrate journalism and First Amendment rights. This will mark the first time that Trump attends the dinner as a sitting president after years of skipping it due to, guess what? We all know Trump has a real rocky relationship when it comes to the media. Anytime he gets, he's like the fake news, the this, the that, y'all know. So obviously that's why he has been skipping an event that's meant to highlight the importance of the White House journalist. But while Trump has framed it like, oh, this is a big moment for him, this is like how he announced to the public that he was going to attend this year's White House Correspondents Dinner. This is a truth. Like I mentioned, it's so ironic that he owns a social media platform that's called Truth Social, but all he does is fake social. Okay, so this is how he this Truth Social is from March, so a few months ago, and he said, the White House Correspondents Association has asked me very nicely to be the honoree at this year's dinner. Let us pause there. He's talking about the honoree. Baby, every year they invite whoever the president is. But of course, in true Gemini fashion, he made it seem like, oh, baby, they asked me to be.
Okay, hold up. Not too much on the Geminis.
No shade, but center of attention. Yes, you the birthday, he the birthday.
First of all, it's not center of attention. We get the attention and we prosper off of the moment. That's not
okay. Well, take it up with the people. So he's talking about some. I was asked very nicely to be the honoree at this year's dinner, a long and storied tradition since it began in 1924 under the president Calvin Coolidge, in honor of our nation's 250th birthday, and the fact that these quote unquote correspondents now admit that I am truly one of the greatest presidents in the history of our country, the GOAT, according to many. I'm not even going to continue reading that, but y'all see how this man, he said, oh, these correspondents said I'm the GOAT. I promise you, none of those journalists in the White House said that he is the GOAT. I promise you that. But let's continue. So that was his whole shebang. That's how he informed the people that he was going to show up to this year's White House Correspondents Dinner. And so, like I said, he was making it like, oh, they asked me nicely, like, y'all wanted me there so bad. No, baby. That's just every year the journalists ask the president to come. So every president traditionally is given time to speak at this event. So he is not getting any special treatment. Reports say that his BFF, or new BFF, as we've learned this year, Nicki Minaj, will be attending as a guest, while Nelly is expected to perform at a separate pre-event tied to the weekend, not the official dinner itself. And so usually like a comedian is hosting this event, but this year Oz Perlman is going to be hosting the dinner, breaking from the tradition of comedians like Seth Meyers and Trevor Noah headlining, and there will be no traditional comedic roast of the president. So that event is happening on Saturday. So for us, it's tomorrow. We'll see. Depending on when you're watching it, this might have already happened. So we'll see how that goes, because again, this is supposed to be an event meant to highlight the importance of, the First Amendment, journalists. And as we know, Donald Trump, one thing about him, he's always talking about fake news, the fake media, the fake this, the fake that. And so let's see what he's going to say. Because at the end, the president gets like a certain time to speak. So it's like now you're in a room with the people that you call fake constantly. So let's see what his little speech is going to bring to the people.
Yeah, I just, for me, I've never watched anything, even when
you've seen clips for sure.
Have I?
No, you have, because when Trevor Noah has done his like little jokes, because again, like this event, usually they have a comedian and the comedians like roast and play around with like the president, and like they make a comedic relief from like the president and all these things. So I'm pretty sure you've seen clips of it. Did you know that it was from the White House Correspondents Dinner? Probably not, but
no. I just feel like, especially as like Trump's presidency has continued on, we've seen all these different celebrities who say that they support him, who do this, who do that. So am I surprised that Nicki Minaj and Nelly are going to be involved with this whole thing in some way? No, because they've been very vocal in their support for him. So it's like, to me, I'm just like, baby, support who you support, I guess. Like that's
the GOAT situation really threw me off, because it's like, baby, he want to be like, you already the president. Like, you did not have to say, oh, these correspondents have called me the GOAT. None of these journalists have called you the GOAT. Like, and I know, how our people love to get in the comments. Okay, maybe show me the one person, journalist, that have called Trump the GOAT.
Girl, you know they gonna pick somebody off of Fox. Like
I
probably
mean,
someone from
just
Fox.
show me. Just let me know. We'll see. Anyways, on
I
to
need
the next.
timestamps. Yes. So the next thing we're gonna talk about, we talk about this a lot when it comes to America, which is
Mhm.
shootings, right? So it was a tragic week in Louisiana, marked by two separate mass violence incidents. So the first incident was at the Mall of Louisiana. So one person was killed and five others were injured after two groups began shooting at each other inside the Mall of Louisiana food court. Police say it was a targeted altercation that escalated into gunfire, with innocent bystanders caught in the crossfire. Five suspects are in custody, and authorities are searching for additional individuals involved. The mall was shut down following the incident, and the investigation is ongoing. And the second incident I'm going to mention is in Shreveport, Louisiana. So earlier this week in Shreveport, 31-year-old Shamar Elkins killed 8 children, including 7 of his own, in a domestic violence rampage across multiple homes. He also shot 2 women before carjacking a vehicle and being killed by police. Authorities say Elkins had a history of mental health struggles and was going through a divorce and had previously made threats against his family, right? And so the one thing I want to show you guys, what Shamar Elkins looks like. And they blurred out the photo like these were the 7 of his kids that they blurred out. And I just want y'all to see that, right? So we've talked about shootings in America and everything like that. And like when I heard, especially about the incident that happened in Shreveport, when I tell you my heart broke, because I know we talk a lot about, oh, we need to do better, we need to do this, we need to do that. But anytime I hear stories about kids being shot and killed, it breaks my heart, because I'm a firm believer in kids bury parents, parents don't bury kids. Like I'm a firm believer in that. And so when I see incidents like this, it just irritates me, because I'm just like, if you are struggling, I don't know, like whatever spectrum you are on the mental health illness scale, it's like hurt yourself, don't hurt others. Right? Even with the incident at the Mall of Louisiana, it's like you two groups are beefing. Take your beef outside. Go to a park. Do something. Go to an empty warehouse. Shoot at each other. There. Why you gotta do it in an open space with people who got nothing to do with y'all's beef? Your beef is your beef. Like my problem when it comes to these shootings is like, why does everybody got to be impacted by you? If your problem is with you or you and somebody else, let the beef be between y'all two. Why do other innocent people have to get involved because you want to sit there and be a detriment to society? Like things like this, it like literally irritates me, because I'm just like, let the beef be your beef. I just
Yeah, it's super upsetting. And again, like especially like the story when it came to like the dad killing his own kids, it's like it is just so devastating and heartbreaking, because as kids you're told, or you're learned, or you're not you're learned, but you're told that your parents are like the one safe space for you, right? Like no matter what, like listen to your parents, like they're gonna make sure that they keep you safe. And so the fact that your own father took your life at such a young age is like there's literally no excuse for that. You know what I mean? Like how can you come back for that? And I get it, like you know what I mean, like it's mental health. Obviously the father wasn't mentally there for, I feel like anyone that does something like this, obviously something isn't right that you are doing this, but it's just so extremely heartbreaking. And that's why like I do not especially like in our culture, right? There I feel like people are not having kids as much as they used to, right? And it's like I do not blame people that don't want to have kids. I don't like when people kind of like force, like, oh, especially when it comes to like women, like, oh, go have a child and go have kids and this, and we were born to have kids and all of this stuff. Not everybody is meant to have kids. If you don't want kids, don't bring them into this world, because then things like this happen. You know what I mean? Like if you know that mentally you cannot afford to have kids, baby, you having a family is not going to fix your issues. If anything, it's going to exasperate it. If you are already struggling and you feel like you are, drowning in a glass of water, Once you add kids to the mix, multiple at that, things are only going to get worse. Like, whether you have a partner or not, like, don't ever think that, oh, well, this is going to get better when I XYZ. No, there's always going to be something that's going to, I don't know. I don't even have words to describe how heartbreaking that is. And again, we keep talking about mental health, mental health, mental health, mental health. But at the end of the day, like Rebecca has said this several times, we need to start putting actions to it because, okay, yes, mental health, but how are we going to make it easier for people to get help? If I need to call to make an appointment to seek a therapist and they can't see me until 5 months later, baby, things like this have already happened. You know what I mean? If I'm seeking a hotline, but you have me on hold for 30 minutes, baby, the person already took their lives. So we just need to figure out actionable items that actually help people. Like I know it can't be a night and day type of thing, but we need to be able to offer these resources at an affordable price, because as we know, America's healthcare system is insanity. And everything right now is AI. If I'm calling someone because I need help, but I can't even speak to an actual person and it's just a representative, and I'm like, a representative? Baby, if I'm going through a mental breakdown, I don't got time to be fighting with an AI on the phone. It's insanity. And again, like if you're watching this and you feel like you're not in a good spot in your life or mentally, like I know, especially if you're someone like me, like you don't want to burden other people with your issues, but sometimes like just talk to your family or your friends. And sometimes like you may not be close to your family, but friends are sometimes like people that turn into our family. I know everybody's dynamic is different. Some people aren't close with their parents. Some people, had to move away from their family and now all they have is like their friends. So just if you know you're not feeling good, speak to somebody. And sometimes just stepping outside and touching grass, because social media can be very, very toxic and you see everybody flying out and this and that. And as we've discussed, social media is not real life. So sometimes like just going out and seeing, just smelling the fresh air, honestly, can make you kind of like, okay, there is like a light at the end of the tunnel in a sense.
Yeah. And to echo your point, we'll have this conversation consistently about mental health. And it's just like, whenever incidents like this happen, it's always like, oh, well, they had a history of mental health. Okay. So what was being done? Like the government be ready to intervene the moment they see a child's hair out of place. They be having CPS at your door, knocking on the door to check if the house is okay for these children or things like that. The government is quick to intervene with certain stuff. But if somebody has an active history of mental health, why the government now stepping in? Why the government? If mental health is such an issue every time we have shootings in America, and it's always brought to the point, the blanket statement of mental health is a crisis in America. Okay, what is being done? There's no tangible actions to it. It's like, okay, we're gonna chalk it up to mental health is a problem and then go about the next day until the next mass shooting happens. It's like, I'm over it. It's ridiculous. Like like, oh, I just can't. I can't. Anyway, the next thing we are going to talk about is David, right? So you're probably like, who is David, right? So I've been seeing this case a lot like happen over like the past few months, but I haven't really like gotten into it, but I knew enough about it. But there's actually been like some like progression within the him being arrested and then him being charged. So alternative pop singer David, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, he is 21 years old. Also want to mention that has been charged with first degree murder. Has been charged with first degree murder, continuous sexual abuse of a child under 14, and mutilation of human remains in connection with the death of 14-year-old Celeste, I believe her name is Celeste.
Mm-hmm. And I want to show a photo before you. So that's him on the left, and then that's Celeste on the right.
Yes. So prosecutors allege that David had a sexual relationship with the teen and killed her in April of 2025 after she threatened to expose him. Fearing it would damage his music career, an autopsy found that she died from multiple penetrating injuries, and her dismembered remains were discovered months later in the trunk of his Tesla. Authorities say key evidence includes significant amount of sexual abuse material found on his phone, along with extensive digital forensic and wiretap evidence. David has pleaded non-guilty and his legal team remains his innocence. He is being held without bail and faces life in prison without parole or possibly the death penalty if convicted. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for May 1st, and Celeste's family has publicly expressed grief and is seeking justice, while investigators say the case remains is required time due to the degrading evidence and the complexities of the investigation. Right. So when I saw this, like, I've been seeing, like I mentioned, I've been seeing it over the past few months, but like now that I know that charges and everything are officially currently happening, I was like, okay, let me read up more on this case. And I just think I hear so many incidents every single day about like child sex abuse issues and like things that are relating to that. And I get so disgusted, like to the point where like I've always said I'm either going to be the type of person who has a bunch of kids or I have no kids at all. Like it's not going to be in between. Like I'm not going to just sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to have one kid and stop. Like, no, I always wanted a big family. But it's like every time I hear incidents like this, I see myself, like, mind you, I always said I wanted kids, but the more and more bad incidents you hear, like, let's say this is like have multiple kids and this is like have no kids, like the scale is like tipping more in favor of like no kids. Cause I'm like, things like this disturb my spirit in the, like, I can't even put into words how disturbing my spirit is when I read about these type of things. And when I was, mind you, I gave y'all a brief summary, but reading all the in-depth details about this case, disgusted.
Yeah. And I think also, like we discussed last week, like these men, and again, like I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, men are the only ones that do these crazy things, because yes, I'm sure there are stories out there where women are the ones that are doing these equally disgusting things. I'm talking about men because this is what this story is about. Last week it was Eric Swalwell, and this week we're talking about the David situation. I think it is disgusting how these men feel like because they're in this position, or because they are, they have a little bit of a following, that they can get away with these things. It is disgusting. And I want to point out the age, okay? Celesterivashernandez was 14, okay? And when she had been reported missing by her family in April of 2024 after running away from home multiple times, and her decomposed body was found in September 2025 in David's Tesla. Okay, she was found in the car's trunk with matching tattoos, similar to David. It's just like so disgusting, and I have zero like remorse. Like, oh, David, oh, I don't care about none of that. Again, these are all, we'll let the court do what they do, but the facts are facting right now, okay? And if he did in fact decompose this girl's body, it is disgusting. I have zero remorse for him. He needs to be in jail. What? And all the time needs to be spent there, because it's like when people do these things, they have zero care for the Celeste, her family, and like that girl had a whole life ahead of her. You know what? 14 years old. Like I think you're probably either starting high school or already like the beginning years of high school. Your whole life ahead, and a man is gonna end that, and then he's outside, continuing to live his life as if nothing happened. No, I'm glad that he's now in jail, and we will let the courts do what they do. But I hope that the system is able to, keep him inside, because not only did you take this girl's life, but then you literally, I don't know what I don't even know the word, but it's like you break
like
down her body.
Yeah, he like mutilated it. Basically.
Yes, and then you mutilate her, and it's just like it's stuff that you see in like movies and you're like, oh my god, that's crazy. But no, there are people that are actually doing these things, and it is disgusting. And I have, like, the mom, when she was walking into court, like, dang, this person took my daughter's life, and now I can't even really have a proper burial for her. Because he mutilated her. Like, what is wrong with people? It is so disgusting. And again, like, if as women, I don't trust nobody. I already have trust issues, but then you read stuff like this, and now it's like my trust issues are so high that you could tell me I don't want to go nowhere. Actually, I'll drive to the spot. No, I don't want to drink any of the drinks that you want to buy. Like, it's so sad that we have to operate in that way as women. But the reality is that we have no other choice, right? Because every day we wake up to these types of stories where people are spiking drinks. Not only are people killing you for not wanting to sleep with them, they're mutilating you. And again, it's like a double-edged sword because it's also, well, it's not healthy to live this way, right? To feel like everyone's always lying to you and all of these things. That's not healthy. But it's like, what else? What can I do?
And like, we've had this conversation on the podcast before. I've always said, like, if I could be in charge of any position in America, I would want to be in charge of punishments. And I think because some people are like, oh, I could do life in prison, or like some states don't believe in like the death penalty. But then I'm like, there's people like me who'll be like, oh, baby, the punishment is going to fit the crime. You think you about to spend life in prison and just you could still get a commissary. You could still potentially get visitors. No, baby, you're living too good. It's like when I see these stories, like the urge to be in charge of punishments in America is like so deep in my bones, because I just know them human rights and animal rights groups will hate me because anyway.
Yeah, my prayers and thoughts are just goes with Celeste's family because, this in itself is already a lot to grapple with, right? You took my daughter at a young age. You literally left me with nothing, essentially. And then now you have this media attention where it's like you could tell the family is like regular. They don't come from fame or like well known. So it could just be a lot to handle at the same time. Like, I'm grieving. I have all these cameras on me and it's just so overwhelming. So I just hope that, have respect also, like the journalists, right? Like, I get it. You want to get the story out and you want to get the mom side, but me from being this side, I'm already overstimulated. So I can only imagine what the family is
and
dealing
I
with.
just want to say, like, we understand that she was like probably what you would classify as like a troubled teen. Like, she's known to run away. Like, we don't know what the family life was like, where she felt like she would be more comfortable being with David at the age of 14 and him being this grown behind man. Like, again, we don't know the whole ins and outs of her life, right? But it's like, regardless if she was a troubled teen or not, no one deserves to sit there and be mutilated. Like, no one deserves to get killed. Like, and it's like, for David, if you killed her because you were you feared being exposed, you knew what you were doing. You knew what you were doing was wrong. Like, if for you to have that fear, to have that, oh my God, my career is going to be over, you knew what you were doing and you didn't care. You didn't care.
Yeah. And now you need to keep that same energy while you are in the courts because people like to act dumb, stuck, and stupid. No. That same way you were acting, how you was moving when you did all of that, baby, keep that same energy right now in court. I don't want to hear about nothing. Oh, I'm so sorry. Or, oh, yes, he did plead not guilty. But like I said, the facts are facting and say otherwise as of right now. But we will see where that lands. On that note, let's move on over to our social corner.
Yes. Welcome to our social corner, where we talk about some of the things we've seen trending on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You name it, we seen it. We might want to talk about it. So, Shayla, what's the first thing?
Yeah, so for the first topic we're going to talk about in our social corner is Mr. Drake, honey. So he made a whole rollout to announce the date for his upcoming new album. And I'm sure you've seen the images, the videos on social media. Drake revealed the release date for his upcoming album titled Iceman this week. And the rollout gave to me, I have money, and you do not. Okay. The date was hidden inside a 25-foot ice sculpture installed in downtown Toronto, which fans and a streamer by the name of Kishka, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, it is what it is. I know my strengths and weaknesses. Pronunciation is not a strength. So the streamer broke into the ice sculpture and revealed a package with the launch date. He ended up breaking through and finding a hidden bag. Like I said, it was this little blue bag, and I'm going to show you in the video. And he followed some clues all the way to Drake's mansion, where the date was officially revealed as May 15th. The streamer was rewarded with stacks of cash for cracking the code. So here is the little video I want to show you of this sculpture vibe. This is from the New York Times. Shout out to y'all. There is no audio here, but Chastity, this is like...
I can understand why fans are excited. So they want to go and find out what is that date. It is our responsibility to make sure people are safe. Drake does bring, he supports our city, and we'll chat with him.
So essentially, you see that it was like he built this 25, well, not he paid for somebody to build this 25-foot ice sculpture to do a whole rollout for the release date of Iceman, his upcoming album. And so, you know, as is always, it's like two-edged sword. It's like, okay, girl, you did all that, but now you had to involve the local firefighters to actually take down the sculpture, because it was all just done for the vibes and to get people talking. If this ice sculpture was built here, would you have gone to try to break it down?
You know, while you were showing that video, the whole time I was thinking, I was like, nothing about that would have enticed me. Like, not a singular thing about that would have enticed me. I'll wait for you to announce it when you announce it. Like, I'm not taking part in that. Call me boring, call me lazy. That's too much effort just to find out the date. Like, baby, okay, May 15th. Thank you very much. Add it to the calendar.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I think also this may just be the producer mind in me, but I'm pretty sure that Drake and his team worked with the streamer, and it was all a plan all along, that he was going to be the one that was going to break the ice and find this little blue bag, because they're not allowing just anybody to pull up to Drake's house or near his house, or just, you know what I mean? Like, it was probably all pre-planned, which is fine. Go ahead.
But I was just gonna say that, like, from a fan perspective, that doesn't entice me. But from a marketing perspective, he did that. Like, I won't lie to you. Like, that's very, like, it's interactive. It makes people want to, like, get excited and stuff like that. For me, it doesn't do that much for me as a Drake listener. But from a marketing perspective, it's like, people are talking about that, because now look at us. We're talking about whether we would have took part or whether we wouldn't have took part. And the best part about marketing is to promote conversation. You're having people talk about it. You're having people like, hey, this looks stupid, or hey, I wish I was there. This is tough. Like, you know, from a marketing perspective. Oh wait, it's these two.
Right. So we'll see when the album drops May 15th, Iceman. Will he come out with the, you know, the summer anthem? Because I feel like as of now, there really isn't a song that's like taken over for the summer.
Who do you think he might have as a feature? Like, what's one artist you think he might have as a featured person on the album?
I don't know. I feel like despite all the drama that happened with him and Kendrick Lamar, if Drake hits you up to do a feature, they're gonna pick it up. I'm thinking maybe Kehlani, because like these are the people that are trending right now. Kehlani, your girl Mariah the Scientist, or Cardi, maybe. I don't know. I'm just thinking about Bruno Mars. I'm thinking about all the artists right now that are trending or in the front lines. So maybe
I feel like Dianna had brought this to my attention, and I agree with her. I feel like Drake might put Rod Wave on the album. I don't know. I feel like either Rod Wave or he's gonna have a song with Jack Harlow. I feel it.
Oh yeah, the Jack Harlow and Drake, they're on the same wavelength.
See that. I can see that. On May 15th, we're gonna run this episode back and see if we were correct.
Right. That's funny. Him and Jack Harlow, that would send the light-skinned Twitter people in a frenzy. Cause girl, they both give the same energy.
And don't let it be the song of the summer. You gonna see Drake and Jack Harlow walking together. Remember when
no
Jack
way
Harlow,
they cannot be no.
Now remember when when Drewski and Jack Harlow were like everywhere they went together, people would be like I feel like that would be people would be like, oh my god. Like I
don't know. Drake, that's funny. Drake and Jack Harlow give the same like light skin type of male. No shade. We love me. I like Drake. I like Drake.
Jack Harlow white.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, he is. He just want to be. I'm not even gonna say that. Anyways, on to the next topic. This is something that I don't think Rebecca saw. So we will get the first.
I saw.
Oh, all right. Well, y'all didn't see it. Hopefully. So the next topic we're gonna talk about is PlaqueboyMax, PlaqueboyMax, I think is how it is. Anyways, 23-year-old streamer and music producer revealed that he got a vasectomy, right? He told TMZ he, quote, isn't ready for no babies. And he said, quote, we love women. They protect themselves. We got to protect ourselves too. He mentioned how vasectomies are also reversible. So this is 23-year-old streamer and music producer PlaqueboyMax. Let's listen. This is like TMZ called him while he was in the airport. And I want to, after we listen to this little shebang, we're going to discuss how do we feel about vasectomies? Should men be getting them more? Why do women always have to take the precautions when it comes to pregnancy and all? Let's take a listen. Keep in mind, this is a 23-year-old man. All right, let's go.
You've decided to have a vasectomy at 23. You have obviously a lot of people, up and on, like, why are you doing, But what was the real, like, thought process behind that? Like, it's kind of a trailblazer move, dog.
Just not ready for those babies, bro.
Yeah. Well, women, often, in this life, they're forced to kind of do the contraceptive stuff. It's kind of a feminist decision on your choice, dog.
You think?
Yeah, I think it's a great, I think because, I'm 42. I had a procedure last year. It wasn't that hard, and it's been great for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we love women, bro. You feel me? They protect themselves. We gotta protect ourselves too.
Yeah, and now my wife don't gotta worry about all that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for you, was that part of the calculation? Like, what you think when you thought about it, when you were going through, were you like, yo, you don't have to worry about, your woman don't got to worry about it either,
Like, if it comes time for me to take kids, like, people don't know, but vasectomies are reversible. There is a chance that it possibly, the procedure fails and, like, you can't reverse it, but there's a high chance you still can reverse it.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I gotta protect myself. I gotta protect the people I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
We are feminists over here.
I like that. It's a very mature choice. I want to give you your flowers. Do you think a trend will start? Because, you're a leader of the new school, man,
It might, man. Everybody just got to protect themselves. Oh, shit.
So before we get into that, I want to mention that when you have unprotected sex, pregnancy isn't the only thing that yes, if you have unprotected sex, we are trying to reduce the likelihood of getting pregnant, but you can still get sexually transmitted diseases if you don't protect yourself. That's just what I want to start us off with. But go ahead, Rebecca.
So, the streamer world, I don't really take part. I know of him because he's been trending for, like, sometimes bad stuff, sometimes good stuff, right? So when I saw this video about him getting the vasectomy and he's like, we love our women, we got to protect, like, they protect themselves, we got to protect ourselves too. It's like, I'm really glad that he got this vasectomy because God forbid somebody procreated with a man with a mindset like that. So, like, you basically just want to be hunching on women raw. Like, that's really what you want to do, right? And it's like, yes, you can get a vasectomy and be like, oh, like, I don't want to procreate, but are you going to still be using a condom? Like, I'm not hearing nothing about, oh, let's talk about the high rate of HIV, the high rate of like different types of STDs. You could still get gonorrhea, chlamydia, like syphilis, all this type of stuff. You could still contact that. Like, it's just
Right. So for me, yes, I think PlaqueboyMax getting a vasectomy, it's good that you got it, but it's like for the reasons, for what reasons, right? Like Rebecca said, okay, great. You are reducing the chances of you procreating, but you can still get sexually transmitted diseases. And also something that I learned, I did not know that vasectomies were reversible. So my thing is, I think it is important, or a conversation that we need to start having more of. Why is it that women are always the ones that are told or expected to be the ones to take charge on like the preventative measures of getting pregnant, right? It's like, oh, are you on the pill when you're in a relationship? Or are you on the pill? Or do you have I don't know what's the other one that is like an injection or something that you put it is,
it's like a birth control pad.
Right, like an IUD or something like that. And I think
the IUD and the coochie.
All right, well, that's the third way. There's several ways, right, that women are always expected in a relationship to take charge in the pregnancy prevention. And okay, yes, it makes sense because we carry the baby. But how about the men take some charge too, right? I don't think that PlaqueboyMax's approach is the best way, right? He's only thinking about, well, I'm trying to have raw sex, left, right, middle, center, and I'm not trying to have kids. We appreciate that because at least he understands, baby, you is not ready for a child, clearly. So you're doing something about that. But for the ladies that are still deciding to have sex with this man raw, just know he's probably messing with several other girls raw, which is why he got this procedure done. So protect yourself, still ask for that condom. But again, it's not my life. Do what you want to do. My thing is, how do you feel about, or do you think we should be expecting men to take charge as well when it comes to like pregnancy prevention, instead of it always being like, oh, hey, are you on the pill? Are you on this? Because a lot of times women deal with a lot of side effects when it comes to, these pregnancy prevention measures.
Oh, I 1000% believe that more men should get vasectomies. We would have less slow children in this world, right? I just feel like to your point about women being the one to take charge and things like that, like, I know for some women, it's like, I want to make sure like nothing ever like happens. Like, I don't want to get pregnant at all. And like, that's the reason why they go and make the decision. I think it's the motivation behind it, right? If your motivation factor for getting on birth control or doing the procedure that so you don't get pregnant is specifically because a man said that you should get it done, then, and it's like, if it's something that you're not comfortable with, then I wouldn't get it done. But if your sole purpose is for you and intently for you, because you don't want to get pregnant, I 1000% stand behind that. I just feel like the recovery time and the process for the operation is completely different when it comes to women and it comes to men.
Right. It's harder for women. Like, we already get our periods. We already carry the child. We already are expected to take primary caring duties after the child is out in the world. So it's like the least y'all can do, and it's reversible. Like, how about y'all take charge in that? Because men expect all these things from women. I want you to cook. I want you to clean. I want you to this. I want you to this. I want you to that. Baby, how about you take charge in the pregnancy prevention? And with an asterisk, we still got to use condoms because you can't be effing other people raw. Because if I take a test and all of a sudden I find out that I got something that I never had before, there will be a problem. But comment down below. I think this is a great conversation starter. Do you think that more men should take charge in pregnancy prevention?
And it kind of goes like, yes. And then it kind of alludes to the conversation of like, where people are like, oh, body count this, body count that. It's like, to me, it's just like, I don't think body count is the conversation. It's the quality of the body you caught, to me. I think like, if I was to get with somebody like PlaqueboyMax, I'm like, the quality of man he is would just be like basura to me. But it's like if I mess with somebody who had 15 bodies, but he's the greatest man ever, like I wouldn't feel as disgusted or bothered, if that makes sense.
I mean, I just think body counts in itself is just like a childish topic. Like, I am not going up to somebody. What I will do is let's go get tested. I don't care how many, like, we are grown adults. I don't care. Some people are real high in the sex drive. That doesn't make them a bad person. But did you protect yourself? That's all I care about. When you come to me, let's go get tested and let's see what's tea. I'm not going to be like, oh, how many bodies do you have at like almost pushing 30? Like, maybe in high school, because I don't care about that. But are you clean? That's what I care about. I care about hygiene. I care that you don't bring nothing to my side, to my neck of the woods. That's all I care about. Body count is like a childish topic to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't really care that much about body count. I do want to know how many people you'd have been busting. Ooh, you gotta take my vitamin.
Sis, at some point you gotta turn off that alarm every episode.
Girl, you know I be trying to remember. But yeah, like to me, I feel like I don't really care that much about body count, but I do want to know how many people you've been busting on Raw, because that just like I don't know. To me, I'm like, that's exclusive for my long-term man or my husband. I don't know, but maybe that's just me. That's just
right.
me.
On that topic, let's end with our last social corner topic.
Yes. So the next thing we are going to be talking about is Dylan Sprouse. Okay. So Dylan Sprouse what was I gonna say? Okay. Run it back. So Dylan Sprouse confronted and subdued and Shayla, don't look at me like that.
Like, girl, you good? Dylan confronted.
Ooh, okay. So third time's the charm. Dylan Sprouse confronted and subdued an alleged intruder who entered his Hollywood Hills home at around 12:30 a.m. on Friday, April 17th. His wife, Barbara, called 911. Yeah, Barbara is crazy. She don't look like a Barbara. Anyway, Barbara called 911 reporting a possible burglary. Dylan held the man down until police arrived. While he was armed, reports differ slightly. Some say he briefly held the suspect at gunpoint, while police indicated he did not draw his weapon. Authorities later determined the situation was closer to trespassing than an attempted burglary. The suspect was arrested on unrelated outstanding warrants and not for the break-in, and Sprouse chose not to press charges. He was not physically harmed, but was reportedly shaken. Sources say this wasn't the first time someone tried to enter the couple's home uninvited, right? So when Shayla and I were out on Saturday, like people were like, we heard that he held the intruder at gunpoint and things like that. But it's like he like grappled him, held him down, and waited till police got there. But I just want to say, when we talk about the topic of procreation, a man who gonna protect house and home like that, baby, that's the type you give a kid to, not the one who's 23 talking about he got a vasectomy to protect women. Like, those are the type of people you get. You show me you can protect house and home, baby. Let me protect it.
Yeah, shout out to Dylan. I think I showed Rebecca when
and his wife, if y'all wanted to know, Dylan and Barbara.
Right. When I saw this, I think I shared with Rebecca. It was like, oh, the intruder thought life was sweet because he saw him on the show, The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Baby, ain't nothing sweet about this life. Okay, it's on site. You will not intrude my home, and this is not how it's gonna operate. People are just weird. No shade. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Why are you invading people's spots? And if it is true that like this is not the first time, baby, it might be time to exit that apartment complex, because I wouldn't even feel safe. Not because of you, because it's like my man. He got me. You know, he saved me. He held the intruder down. But it's just like I wouldn't feel comfortable, point blank, period. Like I wouldn't even want to put my man in that predicament of like people already know where I live. They showing up. Like, what is wrong with y'all? So shout out to Dylan, our Disney star. You did that. Period.
Yeah, you did that, and shoot, kid on the way. Like that's what my mom said.
I mean, allegedly, people were like showing. You know how it is. God forbid you bloated one day as a woman. People already saying, "Oh, girl, you pregnant." So they found some sort of photos where Barbara just looked a little bit, not as flat. And then people are like, "Oh, is she pregnant?" Da, da, da. we will see where that ends up going, child.
Should. That's her husband.
And is.
And
look how he did. He gonna make sure they are protected, child and all. So, and they married. Like, why not?
That's the for better part. Okay. I don't know what the worst is, but that's the for better in them vows. All right. So let us move over to our sports corner. You got 24 seconds and it's starting right now. Yes. Welcome to our sports corner. So I know we had like the topics, like we were going to start with this one topic and then go into I want to start off with the playoffs real quick. Okay. I know I'm switching things up real quick, Shayla.
No, I just want to say, if y'all have seen me fighting for my life with this mic, it just keeps going down. It keeps going down, and I don't know what occurred. So that's what I'm doing over here on this end. If you're like, what is Shayla I got going on? I'm fighting for my life with this mic, but we're going to keep it pushing.
Okay, we a 2-woman band. Okay, we're trying. So I wanted to talk about the playoffs because we've been seeing a lot happen right now. And I'm talking about the NBA. Shayla's also going to mention the WNBA and how the season's going to start soon. But I just wanted to talk about the playoffs really quickly for the NBA. So one thing I will say, I was surprised by Orlando. I was not expecting Orlando to be doing as well as they have been doing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say my one point on that is like they have been injury prone so long. So it's like now they are all playing together versus like throughout the season, it's either one person was out, this person was out, this person was out. So they're kind of gelling at the right time, which is, you know, what you want during the playoffs.
Yes. And the next thing I'm going to mention, right? I don't know what happened. Like, I feel like, Shayla, your Celtics, there was a momentary lapse, but I don't think it's going to happen again. The 76ers needed that one win. I don't see it happening again. And I do think
don't jinx us. We don't know. Because after I saw what I saw yesterday from your team, child, I don't know.
Thank you very much for bringing us to the very harsh topic that is like pissing me off to my core. As y'all know, Rebecca is a Knicks and Warriors fan. And that's important to note because we talked about how when the Warriors decided to trade Kuminga finally to the Atlanta Hawks, and they also traded Buddy Hield to the Atlanta Hawks. And, you know, the Atlanta Hawks was never someone that on my radar. I know that they traded Trae Young. Like, I knew the process was happening. I knew that, right? But in that same breath, when we found out that the Knicks were going to be versing the Hawks, I feel like anyone outside of a Hawks fan didn't think that this series was going to cause my Knicks any type of struggles, right? Because if you look at their roster, like the talent is there, the effort is there. Shayla's frustrated with this thing. It's okay, girl. It's okay. So it's like the talent is there, everything is there, correct? So tell me why we are 3 games in and the Knicks have won one singular game and the Hawks have won 2. And yesterday, I can't remember a point in time. I think at one point the Knicks only like were leading by like 2 points, maybe 1 point. The entire game. If they did get back up, it was either by 1 point or 2 points. The Atlanta Hawks,
maybe it was fighting for their life. Maybe I say, is this the first round or final matchup?
And I'm sitting here at work, and my one coworker tried to talk to me. I said, I can't even speak right now because I was just so stunned that the Knicks would even sit there and allow themselves to be in this type of position. Like, Mikal Bridges had 0 points out of 21 minutes, had 0 points, 4 turnovers. Where'd they do that at? Then Karl Anthony Towns, don't get me wrong, he has some good defensive stops at times, but the amount of fouls that you was getting pissed me off. Jalen Brunson can't do it by himself. OG Anunoby, he helped out. Mikal Bridges, they let go of 4 draft picks to bring your ass to the fucking Knicks, and you did nothing. And I'm telling you this right now. And, you know, it was so bad to the point where, like, usually I watch the, you know, ESPN, I watch my Get Up, I watch my First Take. I already knew I couldn't watch it today because I already know how I'm feeling. They would go and bash my Knicks even worse, and I couldn't even handle that today. I couldn't handle that, right? But let me tell you this right now. If the Knicks lose in this series or don't make it, and I'm lightening the load and saying if they don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, you don't need to be lightning. The way y'all moved and brought everybody, y'all fired the coach, y'all brought everybody and their mother to no, they need to hit the finals.
Okay, you're right. If y'all lose in this first round and don't make it to the finals, let me tell you the two people that need to go first. Kat and Mikal Bridges. And I've been advocating for Kat and Mikal Bridges saying we don't need to bring Giannis to the Knicks. We don't need to do that. Like we don't need to trade that many players to bring one player over. Let me tell y'all this right now. If y'all lose in this series, I don't care where the rest of y'all go. Y'all could keep Jalen Brunson. Y'all could keep OG. We could keep them with the Knicks. But whoever else y'all got to let go, bring Giannis over. Because this does not make any sense to me. Kat forgets that he's a big sometimes. You are get to the paint. Get to the paint. Like, oh my God, I'm irritated.
Yeah, I concur. I'm a Celtics fan, but like I mentioned several times, Chow, I have been a fake Celtics fan because I think I've watched like half of games, but I really haven't watched full games. I watched the stat sheets, and I saw we lost. But I think that we are gonna come back and we will pass the first round. For the Knicks, I think that y'all should not be struggling this hard. And I know it's ironic coming from me as we just lost, but it's like it's the first round. Like I honestly thought when we went to the sports bar, I'm like, y'all shouldn't even be like trailing by 1 or 2 points. Like y'all should just be ahead. Period.
And this is the part that is irritating me the most about the Knicks, right? Every single one of these 1, 2, 3 games has been a battle. It's never been like, oh, this a blowout or oh, this. Even when the Knicks were up in game 1, they let the Atlanta Hawks come back. I don't even pay attention to no CJ McCollum, but guess what? CJ McCollum said y'all gonna pay attention.
Yeah, he said, yeah, some chicken wings. What are the memes? Like, oh, when CJ McCollum sees the Knicks, all the memes are up there on Twitter. And I also want to say, I think the end game execution clearly gotta be, y'all gotta practice that end game. What's the word? End game. It's not prosecution.
Process or
yes, the end game process gotta be worked on because this is the second time lose because of how you execute at the end of the game. I think, and I don't, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I get it. When you're so nervous, things happen, but at the end of the day, you getting paid millions. So I'm really not trying to hear about it.
And y'all know, because I have to get off the Knicks because I feel my heart palpitating right now, real bad, right? But y'all know I also like Stephon Castle. And so when I was watching the Spurs, I do want to mention that he's currently in concussion protocols. And you know what's crazy? When he was like, I'm like, oh, he being dramatic. He doing this for the foul. But then
he hit that.
He said, boom, and bounced off the ground. I said, ooh, he was like dizzy and everything. Mm-hmm. And so he did end up leaving the game that was on, I believe it was Sunday. Yeah, the game was Sunday. So he ended up leaving the game and now he's in concussion protocol. And so now they're like, you know, day by day watching him to make sure that, you know.
But that poor man can't get out of nothing. It's like, if it's not one thing, it's the next. If it's like, he was just got back, he feeling good, and now he get a concussion. Yeah. I'm like, Embiid. It reminds me of Embiid because that's another player that he just stayed.
But I will say for Embiid, he couldn't help the.
No, I know, but it's just like players that they fix one thing and then something else pulls up. So we are wishing him the best of luck and a speedy recovery. For him.
And I hope Stephon Castle is ready to, you know, take charge and do what he need to do for his boy. Okay.
Yeah.
But Shayla mentioned the WNBA.
Yes. So as you guys know, I hope you do. The WNBA season is approaching, honey. Like they're already in training camps, and we actually have a preseason game happening Saturday. The Liberty will be facing the Fever. Yes, that's the team that Caitlin Clark is in. It's gonna air in ION. But what I want to discuss is last year, what's her name? Natasha Cloud, she's a WNBA player, was with the Liberty, but the Liberty have made a lot of changes and they brought in a lot of new people. But one of the people that they have not brought back is WNBA star Natasha Cloud. This is her right here. And so a lot of people have been mentioning, like, is she gonna land anywhere? Because she is a good player, and some people have said or like vocalized, well, maybe the reason why no team has signed her is because she has been so outspoken about politics and speaking out against Israel and the war with Gaza and all of these situations. Other people argue that the reason why she hasn't signed is because of the new CBA deal, and just the way the money is operating is like, well, maybe she's asking for more money than these franchises can actually offer her. She also just got like a new manager in the midst of this off season, so there's a lot of speculation of like, will she land anywhere? Will she come back to the Liberty? Who knows? But this is what she like put out a statement during the last weekend, and she was like, I've given my heart to every team and community I've been a part of, never fully knowing if the impact I hoped for was truly felt. In this moment, though, receiving so much love, support, and advocacy means everything. It's a powerful reminder that the impact I've wanted to make beyond the court is real and aligned with what I believe God has called me to do through this game. So we will see. I do hope that Natasha Cloud finds a home because she is a good player. And no shade, I feel like there are players that have a roster spot that have done less for franchises. So I'm just like, where is the disconnect? I don't know if the Liberty can bring her back because again, they have signed a lot of new star players that even the Liberty is getting like, y'all be trying to investigate the Las Vegas Aces, but y'all need to start investigating the Liberty because they have signed a whole lot of star players with Satu and several others. And it's like, where y'all getting this money from? What CBA y'all signed? We will see where Natasha
It's like, who's y'all sponsor?
Hello. Speaking of that, they actually just signed a sponsorship deal with Spotify. So one thing about it, they have Spotify, they got Fenty. The money is coming through, but you guys know it is what it is. Will you be rooting for the Liberty this year? Will you watch at least 2 games?
Yeah, I watched 2 games. I definitely want to see what the Chicago Sky gonna give because they went and made all these different additions that we were not expecting because we was bashing them just like a few weeks ago about how they did Angel Reese. And then they went and added like 4 good players. And I'm like,
right, but that still don't mean, remember how I said just because you bring in and out players, if the core is still rotten, it don't matter. You're just gonna rot into people that you brought in that were so good and great. But I am rooting for Rickea Jackson. And on that note, let's discuss that topic.
Oh, I'm reading that. Okay, period. All right, got you. So, his name is I think it's Pearce or Pearce.
I think it's Pearce.
Right. So James Pearce Jr. has agreed to enter. Wait, I just want to mention, we talked about this a few episodes ago where we talked about the reason as to why charges were brought against him and everything involving Rickea Jackson. That's how you say it, right? Rickea?
Right, Rickea. So they were dating, right? I'm going to put up the photo again if you visual like me. That's her ex-boyfriend to the left who played for the Atlanta Falcons. And then Rickea Jackson is who we were just talking about. She played for the LA Sparks, but now she was traded to the Chicago Sky.
Yes. So quick breakdown, right? So James Pearce Jr. has agreed to enter a 6-month pretrial intervention program. Almost choked, girl. Ooh. Okay. Allowing him to avoid trial on multiple felony charges and misdemeanor charges stemming from a February incident involving his ex-girlfriend, Rickea Jackson. As part of the program, James must stay away from Rickea, attend therapy, follow a treatment plan, submit to random drug testing, and write an apology to law enforcement. Prosecutors supported the agreement, citing that he is a first-time offender and no one was injured, and the incident appeared linked to a mental health crisis. The charges come after James allegedly rammed Rickea's car multiple times, fled from police, and resisted arrest after being taken into custody. Rickea had previously filed for protection, saying she feared for her life. If James successfully completes the program, the case can be resolved without trial. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Falcons declined to comment, and the NFL is continuing to review the situation under its personal conduct policy. Let me tell you this right now. I think the NFL, what's the thing called again? The NFL's personal conduct policy, I feel like it's like SpongeBob imagination. They always are looking into something and they never find nothing. Like, I don't think it's real. I think they say it on paper, but I don't think they really got workers in there, because y'all don't never find nothing.
It's all for PR.
Like, who worked there, right?
And the thing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, girl. Okay, so I was just gonna say, we have had this conversation multiple times before when it comes to these athletes, and we're talking about people like, and I'm talking about NBA, NFL, whenever these male athletes are involved in these type of circumstances, it's always like they get a slap on the wrist, and then when something else happens, they're given another slap on the wrist and another slap on the wrist and another slap on the wrist, and nothing ever happens to them, right? Y'all cannot tell me that him ramming into somebody's car after they tried to break up with him and tried to say, like, listen, we just don't gotta speak no more. You're single, I'm single. We just gonna do us, and that's it, right? If you think he's a first-time offender, but he rammed his car into somebody, resisted arrest from police and all that, and y'all think therapy, random drug tests, and an apology letter is enough to say he gonna be good and it was connected to a mental health crisis. If it's connected to a mental health crisis, what y'all gonna do? I don't understand.
Yeah, and I think it also, like, again, first of all, God, I thought this was gonna be different, because here's Rickea Jackson, who, is family members with people that are in position of powers, and I thought, oh well, maybe because of this, it'll have a different result. But this is sending a signal to these men in powerful positions, baby, you can't get away with what you want, because at the end of the day, this imaginary book of conduct or whatever it is saying that it is better, right? I prefer you being on this field making us money than whatever you do with these women. Like, they don't care. It's putting more value on the sport than people's lives, and it is disgusting. The same way that then when we read these incidents where it's like in Virginia, we just had this news happen, right, where ex-Virginia deputy governor killed his wife and then shot himself. But guess what? It didn't all just happen overnight. Like, oh, he just killed her one day and boom, 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 boom. No, there was an incident. First, it starts with fake ramming into a person, and then things escalate. If you don't nip it in the butt, off rip, like, this is why you shouldn't do this. People are gonna continue to do so. Like, I just feel like the whatever these rules that were put in place for him to not be held accountable in any way, shape, or form does not reach the same limit. Like, he was trying to kill Rickea or hurt her. So now you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna randomly drug test you. Like, where there is such a disconnect in that. And again, like, we can't tell women, oh yeah, we want you to speak up. Why would I speak up if I am seeing the track record of every single time the evidence is right in your face and you still are playing in my face? Like, why would I speak up? And that's why sometimes women just take matters into their own hands. It's not right, but it's like the way these people operate. The same thing happens with the Kansas City Chiefs. I can't. You remember when we talked about that? It was this other football player. The girl posted the images, clear as day, and I think those charges were also dropped. So it's like, what is it? What is it?
Said that they found nothing wrong with like their investigation. That's why I'm saying I think that the personal conduct policy, it's like, that they're reviewing under their personal conduct policy. I don't think that policy is real. I don't think that there's anybody in that office. And to your point, it's like he's able to avoid trial, period. Like, there's no There's no like court of public opinion in this. There's no jury of your peers to sit here and he's gonna go through an intervention program. Like, do y'all understand?
Yeah.
Like,
and also I think like as fans of the sport, I mean, I'm a fake add me for the sake of this conversation, but it's like we need to speak up. And instead of, oh yeah, I don't know what position he plays, but regardless of all these players, whether you're a wide receiver or whatever, I'm not clapping for you because yes, you made a good play. You did what you did to this woman. Because at so long as we have this like small memory of like, oh, by the time the NFL season starts, everybody forgets what they did. You know, the NFL is gonna see that, right? They only care what are people buying these athletes jerseys? Are they showing up? Are they, you know, getting the touchdowns? Are they catching the ball type stuff? And then they don't care. But if we as a collective society decide, no, I am not about to celebrate someone that's assaulting these people, then the league is going to be forced to also take accountability. Because if not, like, unfortunately, we live in a capitalist society where people only care about money. So if a player is bringing money, they are willing to break all the rules, regulations, the fake handbooks, the fake whatever, in order to keep people happy and keep the money coming in. So we got to decide what is important to us. Because for me, I am not clapping and smiling in your face when I know you just assaulted somebody. I'm not trying to hear none of that.
And I think also it's important to note, like, there's going to be some people who are like, oh, well, like, you know, it went through the legal process. Y'all can't be mad with how it ended. I just want y'all to understand. Imagine if that was your mother. Imagine if that was your sister. Imagine that was your grandmother, your aunt, your cousin, any female in your life who was in a part of a situation similar to that. And instead of actual justice, well, what I would consider to be justice happening, they say you're allowed to go through a program. You're going to sit down with a therapist. You're going to have a random drug test, and you're going to write an apology letter to the police. Are we in second grade? I haven't wrote an apology letter since elementary school.
What is an apology letter going to do? Like, what? Like, that's actually so funny. Like, that's a joke.
Like,
as I'm writing the letter, I'm thinking about how I'm gonna assault the next person. Like, what?
Like, I just.
Anyways, let's talk about another crazy story that was taken over during the NFL draft, which we didn't talk about, but it did happen. Shout out to all the new.
And it's continuing today and into tomorrow. It's a 3-day thing. Yes. So the next thing I'm going to mention really quickly, right? So, baby, when I tell you the tea, like, this is messy boots. I'm talking about clean up on aisle 13, emphasis on the tea. Okay, so newly released photos show Mike Vrabel and Dianna Russini kissing and acting intimately at a New York City bar in March of 2020, years before their recent public scandal. At the time, Vrabel was married and Russini would marry her husband later that year. Okay. An eyewitness claimed that the two were all over each other and openly affectionate. The photos add to the ongoing controversy sparked by separate images of the pair together at an Arizona resort, which was in 2026. Okay. Both previously downplayed the nature of their relationship. Throughout the fallout, Vrabel has announced that he will step away briefly to seek counseling, saying he wants to take accountability and be a better husband, father, and coach. The New England Patriots organization has publicly supported his decision. Meanwhile, Russini resigned from her role at the Athletic, stating that she does not agree with the narrative surrounding the situation and wants to avoid further media scrutiny. An internal investigation into the matter is still ongoing. And so let me show y'all the photos really quickly. First off, this is Vrabel and this is Russini. Y'all see them. That's the two of them, right? And these are the photos that recently have been like shown up from March of 2020. So 6 years before this recent photo shoot. So this is the previous one where they're at a New York City bar, as you can see. And, you know, he leaned over about to kiss my sis, everything like that, right? And then these are the photos that like recently released in 2026 that had started all of the controversy, correct? So these are them. And there was like one photo of them also like leaned out on like beach chairs or whatever, or like pool chairs or whatever like that. And they look real comfortable and cozy. And they had said when those photos originally were released that they were there with other couples. So people weren't getting the right idea. So they were downplaying it. Then you got these photos from March 2020 that show a whole nother story. And the part that's really crazy about it is that those same photos from March of 2020, my sis Russini was about to get married later that year. So I'm just like, messy boots. And it's like Shayla has said this 1,000 times. If you don't want to be in a relationship, don't get in the relationship. Regardless if you are married or anything like that, if the moment that you find yourself ready to step out on our marriage, leave the marriage and go be with who you want to be with. I know there might be a prenup or some financial aspects to, but if you want to be happy to live a long and prosperous life, go do what you got to do to make sure that you live the happy life that you want. If you don't want to be with me, don't be with me. If you want to be with somebody else, let me know and let me go. And it's just like, like messy boots.
Yeah. And also it's like, clearly when the news broke out, when you were in the media, there was rumbling. So you already knew that this was about to come out. But guess what? You thought you were bigger than the program. If you know that you've been messing with this guy, once you start denying, baby, the people are going to feel more inclined because now you're playing with me and my journalistic integrity. You was out here talking about some, oh no, well, people, because allegedly when the first images popped out, she was talking about some, oh no, we were all there in a group, like now you can't hang out with people, yada, yada, yada. Girl, you knew. Yeah, it was 6 years ago. You was in an exclusive. There was no group environment, honey. Yeah, was at the bar, chilling, relaxing, mingling, and smingling. So it's like you're digging yourself in a deeper hole. And then again, you're messing it up for everybody, right? Because it's like women already that are in the journalist field, especially in sports, already get, frowned upon, and they're held to a different standard because you're a woman. Oh, you got this job just because of your looks and all of this and all of that. And then you have people like this. You knew you was messing with that guy.
And my whole thing is y'all not even discreet with it.
But like, I think if you already knew these photos came out, just be honest. Because you getting in these press conferences, because the man has done like 80,000 press conferences and they all just like, he hasn't admitted to doing wrong. Really. He's just going around circles instead of beating the bush. You could just say, yes, I did mess with this man. And if you feel bad about it or whatever it may be, just say that. You continue to say that you wasn't messing with this guy when the facts are already there. You did.
And my whole thing is to tag on to your points, right? So it's like, one, Shayla and I work in the media industry. We are around different types of celebrities all the time, right? So it's like, you're doing a disservice to the women who are coming up into this field, because now people are thinking that I'm giving top. I'm kissing the next dude to get to where I need to get to, right? And like now you're discrediting your whole what's it called, journalistic integrity, because now nobody can take you serious. And you sitting here talking about I'm leaving because I don't appreciate the narrative and the scrutiny that I'm gonna get.
But you built this narrative.
You knew what you were doing, and you didn't think you would get caught.
Exactly. And to that point, also, people are also talking about how, like we said, this is a married woman. She got 2 sons, and one of her sons is named Michael. Okay. And he was born in August of 2021. And people are mentioning or bringing up to the attention the similarities of her son's name that was born in 2021. His son's, like I said, her son's name is Michael. He was born in 2021. And keep in mind, as the reports are being laid out, she was messing with Mike, the coach, during the same, a year before she gave birth. So it's like, girl, you was messing with this man. And then you were messing with this man, right? You give birth a year later. And you know, when you talking to your husband about like, oh, what do you think about this name, this name, this name? Baby, if let's say it was your husband that brought up the name Michael, maybe you should just be like, you know what? I'm not feeling Michael. Cause that's literally so similar to the guy you messing with. What is happening? And again, I want to, you know, the same way we be dragging men, I think we gotta, I don't want to say drag, but it's like she does, we gotta talk about it. Because girl, what were you doing? And if you knew you was messing with another man, just say that.
And I think honestly, it's like kind of similar to the Good Morning America situation with those two. Was it Good Morning America? Those two people
Yeah,
who like,
host.
yeah, the two hosts, they were cheating, had spouses and everything like that. And now they over here getting engaged to be married and everything like that. Listen, I'm a sucker for a love story, but there's certain starts to a love story where I'm like, baby, it's like.
And also, I think when that news was revealed, though, they never denied it. Here,
yeah.
Like, yeah, girl, we was doing that. I am so sorry to the people. And of course, they still got dragged, but it was like their drag is more of like, oh, wow, they really out there and never cared. Versus this, like, yes, they probably did care in the beginning because, you know, it is what it is. But these people are trying to cover it up. The reporter talking about we're the problem, right? She's trying to switch the story. No, girl, you built this. This been in the works for 6 years and you got caught. And now you're talking about we setting up narratives. No. You built this narrative and you got caught.
You gaslighting me. You're gaslighting me.
And I saw an interview clip where she interviewing the coach and the coach got this little whistle and she's like, oh, can I grab the whistle or something with the whistle? It's like, we went to school for communication journalism, baby. They was breaking all the rules. How, like, you know, you have all these people around you, the camera ops, the audio, and you talk about can I try your whistle? What? You are gonna be whistled out of journalism. Bye.
Okay, gotta go, sis.
No shade.
No shade. No shade. First off, Shayla, you ate with that whistle. You did that. But that is all for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning into us. And I hope you guys did make it all the way to the end. And if you did make it to the end, I want you to comment a basketball because my Knicks are going to do better. I have faith. Like they literally cannot. They can't.
Right. Comment a whistle or like little notepad with the pencil because maybe the stories need to be written. She tried it. And so did the coach. But on that note, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and follow us on all our social media platforms at TooMuchSB. And we will see you guys next Friday. Bye.